All right, welcome to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. We back again right here on the Ultimate Browns. Your boy G. Bush right here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you put some comments in the comment section if you agree that right now, I'm not in on Brandon. Where you guys stand on that? Put that in the comment section as well. Let's get to this. Let's get to this draft logic. And this was something that got sparked up, and I think Spencer German, who does the Locked On Browns, he was kind of talking about this, and I wish I had the tweet to put up there. And he basically talked about how there's this thought process that, the New York Giants, even though they've done some things to bolster their quarterback room, that if the Shedeur Sanders was to be passed on the Cleveland Browns at pick number 2, that Shedeur Sanders would be right in line to be drafted by the New York Giants. Now, here's my problem with this, is because we've seen this a little bit, and we talked about this a little bit in terms of a lot of the national media guys and a lot of the media guys that are talking about this who have these mock drafts. They seem to be blinded by sort of the hypocrisy and ridiculousness at which they go about making these opinions be known. Like, case in point, let's get to this. So Adam Schefter tweeted this. This was earlier today on the Pat McAfee show, that the Giants quarterback room is and continues to be a work in progress. Even after they signed veteran signal caller Jameis Winston last week, the Giants also re-signed Tommy DeVito and are very much in the market for free agent quarterback Russell Wilson. Schefter believes that even if Wilson ends up signing in New York, the G-Men could select Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders with the 3rd overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft in April. Because of how much the Giants have struggled at the quarterback position, they're going to do anything they can to address that in the short term and the long term in free agency in the draft. Whether Sanders is the Giants starting quarterback week 1 of the 2025 season, in another story, and that would likely depend on whether or not Wilson or Aaron Rodgers is on their rosters, right? So this is a story by a guy named Keith Hernandez, and this was Adam Schefter who said this on Pat McAfee show. Now watch how crazy this is, right? So let me get this straight. So the Titans are picking 1. They're going to take Cam Ward. The Browns are on the clock at 2. But all off season, we've heard people telling us on the national media that you don't reach on a quarterback. Why would you reach on a quarterback? The Browns have way too many holes to reach on quarterback. I mean, you could get generational players in Abdul Carter, generational players at this position, at Travis Hunter. You can't reach on a quarterback. These quarterbacks would be 5th, 6th, 7th, down the line if they were on last year's quarterback board. They've told us all year about how these quarterbacks ain't it, what they ain't gonna do, and all this good stuff. But don't you notice something, Browns fans? Every single time they want to get us to talk about something, they forget that you guys tell us not to do it, but then praise other teams for doing it right behind us. So if Shedeur Sanders is a reach, if Shedeur Sanders ain't no good, Shedeur Sanders can't play, ain't nobody got a first-round grade on him, even though you brought in Jameis Winston on a 2-year deal, you've already been visited by Russell Wilson, you already have Tommy DeVito signed, and you telling me you're going to use the 3rd overall pick on a quarterback too? But those same options available to the team above you at number 2 is dumb, short-sighted, you guys are being fleeced. Come on, man. Are you serious? How is it that it's okay for you to see why a team like the Giants, who don't have a quarterback, competing in a division where they got to deal with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, and deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, and deal with the Cowboys, and they're sitting down there and running around without a quarterback? You can see why they would go and get a quarterback no matter. They're going to fix this because they've been that bad. Well, what the hell are the Cleveland Browns then? Are the Cleveland Browns not in that same position? Are the Cleveland Browns not been starved for a quarterback longer than the Giants? Like, it's crazy. It's okay if they do it, and this goes back a lot. Like, we admit that we missed on Deshaun Watson, but let's not act like everybody else in the league and 7, 8 other teams was not in line for Deshaun Watson. Let's act like the Dolphins weren't there, or the Falcons, or the Saints, or the Panthers. All those teams down there was linked to Deshaun Watson, just like the Browns were. But when it comes to them squads, oh no, it's a different set of rules. Come on, man. Case in point, let's look at this. So this is former NFL general manager Mike Tannenbaum released a 2025 mock draft on Tuesday via ESPN. In this exercise, Tannenbaum pretends to be an individual NFL general manager, making each pick. Tannenbaum made somewhat of a surprising pick, having the Browns selecting Travis Hunter over Shedeur Sanders with the second overall pick. His thought process was, Cleveland needs a quarterback. So I consider Colorado Shedeur Sanders here, but it also needs a cornerback, and a receiver help, Tannenbaum wrote. Hunter is an extremely rare player, having played more than 1,000 career snaps on both of these positions. Tannenbaum noted that Cleveland's defense struggled against the pass in 2024. They finished towards the bottom of the league in opponent quarterback rating, yards allowed per play, and interception rank. Hunter could pair nicely with Denzel Ward, an elite cornerback in man coverage. He could also take a few occasional snaps on offense. Listen, and first and foremost, this is my problem. Don't tell me what we gonna do some occasional stuff. Ain't no such thing as no occasional. If I draft Travis Hunter 2, he gonna play all the time. That's because I'm gonna make sure he gonna get his money off. I'm gonna make sure I get my money's worth. Second of all, how is it that y'all understand? Oh, with the Giants, they played terrible. I'm pretty sure the Giants aren't very good against the pass. I'm pretty sure the Giants ain't got a good defense. The Giants ain't good enough because they pick it in the top 3, just like the Browns. But you gonna say we need to go a different route? Man, look, man, I'm not dumb. I'm not gonna keep doing this, man. And to be honest with you, I'm actually excited for this draft to be done with. And get over it and be done with it. Because here's what I'm not going to keep doing. I done had this whole offseason where I done had to try to talk myself into Kenny Pickett, Carson Wentz. I done had to talk myself into Kirk Cousins. I done had to talk myself into having visits with Russell Wilson. Guys that nobody else wants. Teams that have already moved on, laughed, wrapped their hands of it, and they continue to move forward. And the Cleveland Browns are dealing with retreads and telling us to take defensive linemen because or cornerbacks, or no. We'll address those moves. We'll address those positions. But those positions will be addressed after we figure out what was at quarterback. Under no circumstances at all. Nope. We're not going to do it. They've been getting this money off. I'm like, man, you guys always telling the Browns what they need to do. They don't understand it. And then the next sentence, it'll be, well, the Giants or the Cowboys or these other teams, these big city teams be getting all of this benefit of the doubt, and yet and still you want us to tell us to start Kenny Pickett and see if we could find something when you're laughing all the way to the bank. And when we're 4-something next year, well, the Browns, they still don't have a quarterback. Well, I wonder why. When we get back.